Hello, Southern Fried Podcast, and all you people out there in Cornbread Nation. How are y'all doing today?
How you doing,
Dave?
Rob? Getting ready for storm, I know. Right
Yeah,
on the very eve of Elaine coming to visit you. So we're
yes,
praying for all the people down there, and we are, for the whole state. And
yes.
it's
In
it's
Florida and everybody else involved in this mess.
yeah,
But,
there's a lot of activity, but we have an exciting interview, and we're honored and pleased to participate in this tonight. And Rob, you worked on this, and so I'll let you do the introductions, and then we'll start talking about some politics and some things about the election.
well, while you're praying there, let's go ahead and send a prayer out to everybody in the path of Elaine. Let's go ahead and do that. And, you know, let God be with you.
Yeah, definitely
All right.
pray for her.
We
Yeah,
got a very
we're
special
praying for
interview
you.
tonight. Fixing to bring her right straight up here to us. Miss Stephanie Harrity. Let's do this here. Boom. There she is. Hey, Miss
Hi.
Stephanie.
How are
Uh,
you guys doing?
we're doing great. Miss Stephanie here, she's running for county commissioner in Decatur County, Georgia, which includes the city of Bainbridge. She's running against Mr. Steve Brock. Uh, but Miss Stephanie, you
Yes, sir.
know, this is your chance to let everybody meet you. So take it away. Tell us about Miss Stephanie Harrity.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for having me first.
You're
So
welcome.
I am a Bainbridge native. I grew up here my first 18 years. I was a Friday Night Lights band geek, played flute and piccolo for God knows how many years under Mr. Pascal Ward, if everybody knows him. I was also one of the theater kids and grew up in theater and kind of found my people there. Um, Grew up on a poultry farm for most of my life,
Oh,
out in Brinson, with my mom and dad and sister. Always a dog, so I am a dog parent. Um, oh, there you go. My husband
Absolutely.
graduated at FSU, so
You come right into the right room. We're both dog fans.
that's right.
I left at 18, went to college, started my career, which I am professionally a massage therapist for the past 21 years. I've lived in Atlanta for about 8 years, and I felt drawn back to South Georgia to be with family. My grandparents were getting older. My mom was here. My dad is here, and um, my sister was going up to DC. And I was like, you know what? It's time to go home. It's time to be there. So
Yeah.
came home and started up a business. I've been a small business owner in historic downtown Bainbridge for about 13 years now. Um, Slowly have grown over time. I absolutely love being in an old 1940s gas station.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I recently got married about 6 years ago, 5 years ago, and am a bonus mom to a 10-year-old little boy. And I have three dogs. Current member of the Decatur County Humane Society, and absolutely love it.
Well,
Awesome. I love the fact that you're, also, running for office, but also a small business owner. And that's something we emphasize on the podcast. We like to reach out to those folks, all those
Mhm.
small businesses, the backbone of America, as far as, and it's hard on them right now. It's very difficult. What made you decide to run? I guess the good place to start. What gave you the passion to run in this race, and kind of just let the listeners know about that? I think that's interesting. People always like to know.
So, good story. My sister, we were talking about the primate facility
Yeah,
that is slated to come to Bainbridge, and just the underhand dealings that looks like was going on, and that we weren't happy with the way our hometown that we grew up in and loved was changing, and just the direction. And she's like, well, run for office. And I'm like, I'm not a politician. She's like, well, maybe that's a good thing. And I quote her of, be the change you want to see.
yeah.
And so after that, I looked into, okay, well, what can I run for? County commissioners were coming up, and ours, we have six total. I'm in District 2, and they rotate years. So you have election one year for a certain set and election another year for another set. And it just happened to be my year for election. She said it was Kismet. So I looked in, okay, what does a county commissioner do? What are their duties? And what do you have to do to actually get elected? And after I started going down that rabbit hole, I found that those people hold a lot more power for the citizens than I ever knew. Um, and if you want to make change, then this was my time to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people in America, and sadly, they don't really understand how our government works,
Mhm.
and it's and actually on the national level they misrepresent democracy, and they don't they never mention the term the constitutional republic. And in America, we elect people to
Mhm.
make decisions for us. We don't have a vote on every single thing that's going to occur. Yes, on some things, bigger things, yes, but most things, there are literally thousands of things that can happen over the course of a few years that citizens they don't have a say so in it. They've elected their leaders to make proper decisions for them, and we're trusting them to make those decisions, do right by the citizens and the community on a local level, state level, federal level, whatever it may be. And so you're right. We give those
Mhm.
people a strong voice, and
Yeah.
yes, that is power to say, I vote this way or I vote that way. Now, obviously, and taking in the consideration of the constituency of their area and what they would like to see or what they wouldn't like to see. It's not an easy thing. You can't please everybody, obviously, and we're certainly divided a lot. But I think it's great, and mostly in small areas, rural areas. I think that's we still have that sort of feeling where most people are flowing the same way in what they would like or wouldn't like to see. But you nailed it. Yeah, we need good people to step up and run in these offices, and it's easy to sit back and kind of pick at those that are in office. But if you don't like what's going on, then run for office and see if you can help make the positive change that you're looking for. So that's awesome. How long does the term run for? Is it a 2 year or 3 year
It's a
or what?
4 year.
4 year. Okay,
Yes, sir.
that's
And
interesting.
and going back to what you said, I think because it's so local and these are our families and our neighbors and the people that come into our businesses. So it feels like we have more vested interest into the decisions they make. And I think when they don't take everything into account, it hurts worse, for lack of better words. It just gets you more on a more personal level.
Yes, I don't think when you step up to do things and you branch out as we do as a citizen or a human or whatever, it really it helps you to feel even more passionate about what's going on because you're seeing that you're involved in things that maybe you weren't involved with before. You were a small business owner, but now you'd be looking at things for even from another direction,
Yeah.
and going to meetings and looking at budgets and whatever the case may be, and it just helps us to understand more how things work in our communities. And I think that's awesome. How did your family committed in this with you? Did they like the idea at first? They have to warm up to it that you were going to run for office.
My sister is very gung ho, and if she lived here, not in DC, she would probably be a fantastic campaign manager.
Yeah.
Um, I told her tonight, I was like, "Hey, I'm going on." She's like, "Did you prep?" And I'm like, I can. So she wanted. So she is. Hey, did you get your buttons? Did you do your flyers? Did you do your posts? So she is very much a driving force. My husband, God bless, he is along for the journey of go ahead, babe, and whatever you need me for, I'm
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Um, my
That's
10-year-old
awesome.
thinks it's really cool
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we went to a county commissioners meeting, and afterwards he went and sat in the seat. And he's like, Miss Stephanie, I sat in your seat. I'm like, thanks, buddy. Not mine yet, but I'm getting there. Um, so it's definitely been interesting and some tough words of, hey, you're a female and you're running with the D at the end of your name, and that's going to hurt you. And family are like, are you sure you really want to do this? Because people aren't going to be that nice. And I'm like, well, it's with the territory.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is with the territory, and I think you and I talked about that deal a little bit.
Mm.
You know, Dave and I personally, we are conservative. We're both Republican. We don't care what is behind your name when you go to vote. We want you to get out and vote. We want you to vote. We want you to do
Absolutely.
what you do. We want you to lead how you think you ought to lead as a leader if you're elected. we don't. It's none of our business.
Mm. Well, and the thing is at the end of the day, you have to pick,
Yeah,
regardless,
yeah,
who you think is going to represent you best. And I've told this to everyone. I was like, running on the Democratic ballot got me to November. It got me here with you guys. You would
yeah.
have never seen me because I would have had to run off in May. And strategically, it put me here. I
Right.
also knew I needed that time.
Sure.
Historically, Bainbridge has ran in any kind of city position as a Democrat. Just this year, our sheriff and clerk and everything else went to independent. So there's just different rules when it comes to that. I told someone, city and county should not be. It should be nonpartisan, just like our county, our school board is. There
Yeah.
should not be a divide because at the end of the day, you are representing absolutely everyone, regardless if they believe in what you believe or if they don't. They're
You still
citizens.
have to represent the people. And it
Absolutely.
may not be something that, you have to vote, you have to lead with your conscience.
Mhm.
But your constituents may not see it that way,
No.
you know?
Yeah, there was a lot
So,
of talk up our way a few years ago when a lot of changes were made in that regard, and people here the same way. Just we don't really care about that. We know you're in the
Mhm.
community. It's a small community. We just want to see you run, and because people switch parties as things kind of changed. The demographics have changed. The parties have changed over the years. I've been,
I was going to say that even
following
the parties have
politics for a long time, and Southern
Mhm.
politics really went through a change. And so I think most people are, and I've said this recently, most people have the same basic desires as citizens of anywhere in America. And that is,
Mhm.
they want to have, they want to have the services that need to be there. They want a good economy. They want crime, they're concerned about crime. Obviously everybody is, and good schools and all those kinds of things. I think all of us pretty much agree on that. So when you're in the local scene, it doesn't really play as much. And you have, up in our area in Dalton, Georgia, there's it's kind of the same thing you're just talking about. The people love their representative, they love who they have, and it doesn't really matter to them what the letter is. It's just they love that person. That's who they want. And so I applaud that. Well, I would say, as you as a business owner, as a citizen, as someone who cares about their community, what were maybe like two or three issues that you thought, I should run because Stephanie can help this? What was it that you thought is your top two or three things you thought I can invest in myself into this and I can make a difference? What would those be as you sit here tonight?
So, I mean, at the end of the day, we all want to put our stamp on the world.
Yes.
Um, but at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's about the community. The biggest thing that I think probably spurred me and a lot of people in Bainbridge was the primate facility because a
Okay.
lot of people just don't pay attention. We trust the people that are there. We trust their decisions. And then you start looking into those decisions and how those decisions are made. And basically, what I found that I did not agree with was one, transparency is not there. And it's got to be. There is no reason
Sure.
not to know why a decision is made, how it is made, and how you came to that end. Um, for example, our county commissioners meetings, they are not live streamed. Why not? They should be. You shouldn't have to go to 800 different websites to find out when a meeting is or what's going to happen or an agenda. It should all be in one central place, easy to get. So, one, transparency. It needs to be there, and it's not there. Um, and I don't know if that's because they don't want it to be there or they just haven't worked on it.
well, I
Two,
know.
accountability.
Okay.
Um, People are just not being held accountable for their decisions.
Yeah.
You make a decision, go, I made that decision and it was a wrong decision. Here's how we're going to fix it. Or, yes, I made that decision and here's why I made it. And here's why I still think it's good. You,
Yes.
you hold, you have, and this is a lesson I teach my 10-year-old. We're human beings. Human beings make mistakes. We make good
Sure.
decisions, we make bad decisions. But at the end of the day, they're ours.
That's
And you
right.
have to own them.
That's right.
So
Absolutely.
those were the two major things I would like to see from every
Sure. And
position held.
yeah, and I think as as a voter myself, and I've never ran for public office, but I always say we need to have long memories. And when people run
Mhm.
for office and the things that they're promising, such as transparency or whatever, or hey, I'm gonna do my best to get this changed or whatever it is. When the next time they come, the election comes and they're stumping for votes, that conversation needs to be had. Yeah, hey, you did a great job. You've really advanced this. You followed what you said you would do, and you've got my vote. Or you didn't do anything. You did, in fact, you did completely opposite of what we wanted or I wanted as a voter, and there's no way you're getting my vote. And so that's the power that we do have as
Absolutely.
voters is you got to earn that vote. You got to earn based on your campaign promises, the platform. Did they, and granted, some things are hard to get sometimes changed in one term or whatever it may be, but you might have been able to advance that. It might got it better, might have slow. Sometimes change is slow, but I think all of us as voters, that's what we want to see from those that are running, just that they really, try to stay true to what they said that we're going to run for, and that those things were important. And when they come back around and say, absolutely, you got my vote, you've done a fine job, I'm always willing to say that, or challenge them and say, no, you don't have my vote, And I've been to quite a few political meetings across the state and met, many people all the way, even up to the governor. And I just think that conversation has to be, had with, at every level. It needs to be, what did you do? What did you try to do? And then if curveballs were thrown, or if misrepresentations were done, or meetings weren't announced right, or whatever the case may be, then we need to challenge them on that. And so I applaud that you not only that you're challenging that, what has happened, but you're seeking to make a change in it. Is there any? Well, I'll let Rob ask some questions. Is there any other commissioners up for vote right now besides this district? Is there others as well, or you be the only one that is running?
So
Or
there
if
was one. Well, technically there were three. I believe it was District 1, 2,
Okay.
or 1, 2, and 5, maybe. None of them that will end up in November.
Okay.
So Mr. Dennis Brinson was not challenged. So he is an incumbent. He kept his seat. Mr. Bobby Barber, which is District 5, he was challenged. And unfortunately, or fortunately, because the citizens voted it, he kept his seat. So
Okay.
he was challenged as an incumbent and kept his seat. So as of right now, I am the lone shark left,
Yeah.
of to being able to challenge an incumbent with a seat
Yeah.
currently.
Okay. Well, I know
I
the only
believe
District 2 can vote on that, but
yes,
it does give you sort of the only one there, and that's kind of nice, that you're the only one that will be, can and help you get your message out, because
it definitely does. It definitely
yeah,
does.
awesome.
So I mean, at the end of the day, as a person, as a taxpayer, you just want your voice to count. You
Sure.
want to know you're paying taxes for a reason and where it's going, and that you're being listened to. Plain
Yeah.
and
Right.
simple.
And every candidate is always. I've always heard this up here, and I think they're really good about it. One of the things that they're doing, they're talking to people that's an incumbent, or they've just ran, or anything. They'll say, "Okay, no matter what happens at the election, just one thing to remember: you got to get those signs back up." Some
Oh,
of them are really good at that. Some of them are not. About picking up their signs, and some people leave them. I guess they get dissatisfied or whatever. Or maybe they didn't have a good group to help them or something. But that's a
oh no,
job,
I
I
love my
know.
signs. They're coming back. They're pretty.
Awesome, awesome. Rob, what you got?
Oh, my
I
turn.
was going to let you.
Your turn.
I've been talking quite a bit here. I wanted to let Rob have an opportunity to interject here.
Rob, you're on
Well,
the spot.
I know I'm right
I
here.
put him on the spot.
That's okay. I like being on the spot. Miss Stephanie, I want to give you the opportunity here. If there's one message that you want to give out to the people that are going to be voting for you, or one thing that you would like to say to them, what would you tell them? Why should we vote for Stephanie Harrity?
One, you should vote, regardless.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Absolutely, regardless, go vote.
yes.
Why should you vote for Stephanie Harrity?
Mm.
Give me, because I want the chance to prove to you I can make a difference. Plain and
Amen.
simple. I
Yeah.
can't tell you I am. You can't trust me because you don't know me. Give me the chance to prove it.
Amen to that. That's
That's
a good
strong.
answer.
It's a good cool. That's a good way to say that.
I didn't
Never.
even prep for that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
oh,
really good. I like that.
you don't need prep for this show. Just come on here and be
Yeah,
yourself.
and that's the hard part when you've not ran before, so you don't
Mm,
have an opportunity to say, well, look at I did this and this and this,
mhm.
and so it's give me the chance, and if people are
Yep,
obviously there's things that people are not happy about has happened there, here I am, I'm stepping up, give me a chance to make that difference, and you're not happy with what has happened, give me a chance to make a difference. I think that's very strong, that you're doing
exactly. And
that.
if I don't live up to it, don't put me back.
That's
Yeah,
it. And
true. Yeah,
there's a whole lot that goes into getting the courage up to run for office. I mean, you're running for the county commissioner.
Mhm.
All right. You're not playing around. You want to win it. And
Yes,
you're
sir.
in it to win it. But you're not in it to win it for Stephanie. You're in it to win it for the people.
Yes, sir.
And that seems to me like that's what you're saying is you want to do it for the people. Once again, they don't know you, but they know the other
No,
guy. We don't even gonna call his name. I said who you were running against at the beginning
Mr.
of the
Steve.
show. If y'all really want to go back and get some information on him, rewind the thing. We're not going backwards. We're going forward. What was that? She said we're not going back.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
That
Have
I'm not.
have
There was the cackle and everything.
Look at you being progressive.
have you? Has there been any like debates or town halls or anything where the candidates have faced off, or at least something in print where people have asked questions, maybe reporters or anything in this race?
There have not been. Now, I will be holding a town hall, a meet and greet for myself on October 3rd, hopefully here in Climax at the Tigers
Yeah,
Den. They're hosting it for me, the lovely mayor over there. Um, if we have power, hopefully, fingers
hopefully,
crossed.
yeah.
Um, but as of right now, no, nothing has been set up other
Okay.
than what I have set up for myself.
Yeah, I was just curious. Has it been so far? Has it been any negativity, or has it been pretty positive, and you just both running, or how would
It's
you
been
describe that?
interesting. Um, my reach is a lot further than I thought it was, which is makes me really giddy at the end of the day. And then you have to field a question, well, what's your religious beliefs? Because you work on a Sunday. I do work on a Sunday. I'm in a service business. My granddaddy is probably not rolling in his grave. He was a preacher. God bless him. But it's the day I choose to work. But that doesn't mean I don't have faith.
Yeah,
So that's been an interesting go around. Or I'm female. It's
Yeah.
for lack of better words, it's a boys' club right now, and it has been for a long time. And we all know women think a little bit differently than guys do. No offense, gentlemen. So it's
But
it's
he's
busting into something that that hasn't been changed in a long
yeah.
time. So that's probably my biggest uphill is it's it's a change, and change is sometimes scary.
Yeah, culture and it's hard to change cultures and the way things have always been. But those doors are opening up and being really busted down every day, and it makes us better as a state and a community and a country when those things happen, because that's the beauty of America, that anybody who wants to better themselves, to have that small business, to run
Mhm.
for office can do that. And so, that diversification just makes us stronger. The synergy out of that, and you may be one, but you have a voice, and that they got to work with you, and if they
and
can't,
believe it or not, this one over here even wore a pink shirt the other night. I was so proud
I
of him.
did, I did. He
He
gave me a
did.
hard
He
time
wore a
about it,
pink
but
shirt. And let me ask you this: you can settle a debate for us right here, right now.
I know what he's going to say.
When you eat biscuit and gravy, do you
Mhm.
crumble the biscuit up or do you open it up in half before you put the gravy on?
You open it up and you pour the gravy on,
She is a Southerner, David. You are a
and you make your
female or
biscuits with butter and lard. Okay.
Georgia.
I used to snap peas on the front porch with my grandmama. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we got to ask, do you like sweet tea? Because that's a good Southern thing too. Do you like
it's
sweet tea?
not as sweet as my husband does, and he's from Florida. So clearly, I have converted him well.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay. You like good sweet tea. Okay. Yeah, because if you have to ask how sweet is your tea, you're not.
Yeah.
It's basically diabetes in a cup for him. So
Yeah. And I realize some people can't. They have to put those sweeteners in and stuff, but we do like our
So
sweet tea down here.
absolutely.
now, what are your plans moving forward to continue reaching out to people
Mhm.
to get your message out? Do you have anything set up other than your town hall on October 3rd?
So I do have the town hall on October 3rd. Um, it has been asked if I'm going to go door to door. I am high. It does not sit right with for me to go knock on a stranger's door. And I know that's been politics for a long time. I'm also out in the country. I mean, I
Yeah.
have a pistol. I don't want to have to tote it to go meet people. So so yes, hopefully I will be phone banking soon. My signs are out.
Okay. Good.
So word of mouth, Facebook, those type of things
Sure.
have been my biggest platform so far.
Awesome. Well, you probably just won some votes with that comment. So
Yeah.
I like that you got that
We
in there. I
know,
mean,
we know where your stance is on the Second Amendment.
I'm telling you, that was a
Absolutely.
vote getter right there. Salute to you. That was
That's
really
called
good.
growing up in the South and on a farm.
Amen, sister.
I love it. Know your region and know what's important. Absolutely. But yeah, there's
Okay.
lots of ways nowadays, and that's the beauty of it. And we want you to know here on the Southern Fried Podcast, you're welcome to come back as you know, as the voting is, I should say, is going on, which starts soon. And you know, feel free to come back, however it goes either way after it's over. And we'd love to have you back. You're fun, and we like your ideas and you know what you have to say. And feel free to, you can always come back here. We'd love to have you.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for having me. I have enjoyed myself.
Have you?
Well,
Good.
Yeah,
We
we're
want you to
we're
enjoy
not much
yourself.
to look at, which Robert thinks he is, but we're not much to look at. But we are nice people, so you know. And
Well, Dave has the face for radio. So,
that's true.
well, he's older too.
I
You
am
know, he's
older.
our elderly person. If
I'm
you,
the
that's
elder in
been
the
an
room.
ongoing gag ever since he got a scam call. And if you dig back in the podcast, you'll find that.
Yeah,
Can you believe a scammer actually had the nerve to refer to him as elderly?
yeah, elderly. Oh God. Well, you know, it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, we'd
I thought it
love to
was
have
bad
you.
when I thought it was bad when I stopped getting carded, and I'm like, well, Stephanie, you are 40, so it's about time.
I
So
was
in your
16
district,
that
in your district, is there one precinct or a couple of precincts, or
So no,
if you know?
I have a pretty big swath. So I have about 3,400 registered voters.
Okay.
So I have Climax, a little bit of Bainbridge, like in the fairgrounds area, up into the Veda-ish area, tiny bit of Attapulgis. So it's a pretty big. Basically, I have the upper east quadrant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Now, I'm going to talk back about the primate facility for just a moment, if that's okay. I am not for that. I don't live in Bainbridge, Decatur County. I can't vote on that over there with y'all, but if I could, I would.
Unfortunately, we don't get a vote on it either, unless, well,
Yeah.
Understood.
But I would be voting some people out
yeah.
that made some decisions like that and didn't let me know. But there is, if I understand correctly, there's citizens that are live in the city that do not have city water now, but they're going to make room for the facility to go in and take up their space, basically, and they won't get the water run where it needs to run. Is that in your district?
Unfortunately, it is not. Now, there may be some in my district. I do not know of those. I have not done the deeper dive into those because it was only brought to my attention recently from one of my clients. She's like, "Did you know?" And I'm like, "No, I did not." And that is a little messed up.
That's a lot messed up.
It is a lot messed up. Basically, we're trying to take care of a company, but not taking care of our citizens. And that's not okay. To me, citizens come first. Regardless,
Amen.
if you are inside city limits, then you should have city benefits. You're paying the taxes for it. Your property taxes are paying for it. So why aren't you getting them? No, I'm more county. So I may have a little bit of city in there, but I am more county.
Okay.
But is there a way that from the county commissioner's seat, is there a way to apply pressure there to get them to do what needs to be done?
Your county commissioners, when I deep dived, learned that they get to appoint the people on the boards that make the decisions. So every board that is on your property taxes that have a millage rate, other than the school board, is appointed by your county commissioners and your city council.
Okay.
So those are the people that are putting them there. So the people that are there need to be held accountable. But at the end of the day, buck stops at the top.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because if they're not doing what they're there to represent, why are they still there? If they have vested interest on a board they're on, why are they there? So indirectly, yes, there may be able to get a little bit of pressure there by looking at your boards and restructuring those. But that would be a deeper issue of, can the county get involved, or is that just city of Bainbridge?
Right.
And if that's your city of Bainbridge, that's your city council.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would
So-
encourage people, just as
Yeah.
aside to that, not even about this election. You made a good point there, but to pay attention who's on the boards, pay attention to who all the players are, and you'll find that there's a lot of connecting dots there. You talk about who's in the clique, or and I'm just saying, because I know I've seen it in my area before. It's changed a little bit here, but I didn't realize at one point just how many of the same were in a lot of different places together. And then you've got a handful of people that are really controlling a lot of what's going on throughout the county or the little cities or whatever. And people wonder why decisions are made the way they are. Just pay attention to who's on the boards and who's making decisions like that. It'll be eye-opening.
It is a rabbit hole. And once you start going down it, you go, well, how far does this go? Because this person is sitting on this board, but they're kin to this person. And then this person is directly benefiting from every contract on this board. So why is it happening?
Yeah.
And why isn't it stopping?
Citizens need to pay attention to that. They need to challenge that, because, and without going to the issue, I'll just say we had something up here where, because of government ran amok, the citizens were levied with a huge debt that it took years to pay off because of mismanagement of some things. And it cost, because of their mistakes, it cost jobs, it cost extra taxes for everybody. It was a big mess. And all those people are not there now and been voted out. And some of them are not even, they're deceased now. But that ramification up in my area, at least in one part, has still very much talked about, just how. So we have to pay attention to what government's doing. We have to pay attention to these boards and who meets and the decisions that are being made. So absolutely, that's important.
Because you as a citizen hold the power.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. At the end of the day, you hold it. You just have to let your voice be heard.
That's right.
Yes. That's why we was talking about earlier. These local elections are so important. They are more important. They're going to affect you directly. And like you said, quickly. And, stuff like this monkey facility and stuff like that. I'm going to quit harping on that one. No, I'm not.
It's okay. It was not a good decision, in my opinion.
No,
it should have never happened. It should not have happened the way it did.
No.
The only slight sliver of positivity is it made people become aware. Right. It made them go, oh, this is happening. So why did it happen and how can we stop it? And like I said to you guys earlier, it's like I've seen so many people across so many different facets come together that never would have before for one thing. And it's been amazing to see the community itself come together.
Yeah. And I think anytime you can get community coming together, if it's just one issue, that shows us that we can work together. We may not all agree on every issue, but when it concerns our community and our way of life and things that we like or don't like, or, where we want to raise our kids and that type of lifestyle that we're accustomed to and we appreciate, it's important for us to reach across the aisle and not let those divisions take hold where we can't talk. And that's one of the things that frustrates me. So just the fact that they've done that will have far. I think the ramifications of that will go far beyond this issue here. Hopefully, it's a good resolution at the end. But going forward, I think you'll see a lot of people. They'll remember that, and it'll be easier the next time to rally the troops, so to speak, to get them
Yeah.
you can get them out and get them protesting or whatever it is an issue, and let these elected leaders know, hey, we're not happy with you right now, and we're
Right.
going to remember come election time. That's so important. Emails, phone calls, go to their meetings, town halls, whatever they have, and
Mhm.
let those voices be heard, because they can only avoid it so long, and
Right.
the noise gets louder and louder the more. And y'all have done a great job down there with doing that. Everybody involved, so we applaud that.
Yeah. So now, let's get us a good parting thing here, and I'm gonna put you on the spot here just a little
Okay.
bit. A little bit. What would you say to the people that are voting for the person that you're running against
Hmm.
to convince them to vote for you?
Ooh.
Should know maybe a little bit of prep work.
A little bit. I don't think there's one thing you can say to people to change their mind. At the end of the day, they have a reason for voting for that person. I guess if you can look at if you can look up someone's history and what they have done for your community, and you can say, yep, they did a good job, then vote for him.
Okay.
If you can't tell me
Yeah.
what he's done, how he's voted, look into it. Do
Yeah.
some research. Know who
Educate.
you're voting for. Don't just vote for a name. Don't just vote for a party. Know why you're voting. Plain and simple. And at the end of the day, if it comes out and you're like, yep, did a great job, still voting for him, great. But make that
Yeah.
decision based on facts.
Yeah.
So what you're
And
telling me is, if I'm voting for the other guy, that I need to make an informed vote.
Yes, sir.
I
yeah,
can
and,
go along. That
yeah,
was a very, very no prep, or you needs prep work. I mean, come on, that was
your sister would be proud.
Yeah,
I know,
Uh,
right?
and I would just add in, lastly, on that note, is in any election, there's always going to be those that are solidly voting for one or the other, and you may or may not change their mind. But there
No.
are a lot of people who are maybe in the middle, sort of undecided, or even worse, are planning to not vote. Those voters that sit at home that are registered voters, I think you said 34 plus, 100,
Mhm.
3,400 plus, or something like that. I don't know how much they turned out before in this district to vote. But there's people that haven't voted. I'm sure, and there's never 100%.
District
That
2, I think in the primary we had probably around 600 vote in the primary
wow,
wow.
in District 2.
yeah.
Okay.
There's a
So we
lot
had
of
about
there's
10% come out for the whole county. So I would love to see that number go up. And like I said,
yes,
vote. Just let your voice be heard.
absolutely.
Know
Yeah.
that you are making a difference and you're complaining, but you did something about it.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's a good point. But yeah, the sit at home voter, the person who's registered and never votes, that can make or break any election. So it's important that everybody gets out, let their voices be heard. So, well, thank you for that. Thank you for being on, and we wish you well. And
yeah.
you did well. Your sister's going to be very proud of you, and she's rooting you on and making
I'll let
sure
her
you're
know.
hitting all the points. And but yeah, we appreciate you very much coming on. It's an honor
She's
for
gonna
us
be
to be
talking
here.
bad about me, Dave, because I was sitting over here being all nice and stuff, and I made her think. And she's gonna be sitting back. That's
Yeah,
good.
But I did it, okay? Bring
You
it.
did great, and
And the
those were
thing
the
is,
answers. Those are
if
the
I
answers.
can't answer your questions with transparency, why am I even running on that platform?
Yeah.
Amen, sister. Amen. And you know
So,
what? Those were great answers, and both of them would have convinced me if I was out on the street. So, and that seals it right there for me a lot. If you can catch somebody with a question like that, and let them sit there, give them a second, don't rush them, let them sit there, let them think about it, and then give you an answer, and an answer that comes from the heart,
Yeah.
not the head
Right.
necessarily.
Well, I
I like.
think a couple of things that here really stand out just from afar. After all, I'm not a voter in that area either. But I do like you've done well. One, you're a small business owner. Two, you're standing against this whole thing with the primates and what they're trying to do there. And hey, we know that you are pro gun. I love it.
Miss Stephanie,
That's
thank
three
you
try.
good ones
very
right
much.
there.
And I eat my biscuits correctly, clearly.
Yes, yes, you do. Yeah, absolutely. That's the
Awesome.
only way they should be eaten.
And
Yeah,
you root for the right team. So
yeah.
I
Miss
love it.
Stephanie, thank you so much for coming on. Look,
Yes.
we're on 3 or 4 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Anytime you want to pop on, just show up, let us know. We'll be happy to
Absolutely.
throw you right up here on the screen with us. We'll bring you right on in. We don't care. We
I
bring
love it.
everybody in that wants to be a part. We try to. So, well, thank you very much, Miss Stephanie. We're gonna wrap this up so you and I can finish getting ready for the storm coming in.
Yes.
Yes,
And
sir.
Dave's gonna start shooting this thing out. So if you'll hang on just a minute, we'll wind this thing up, and we'll bring you back up here in just a second.
Yes,
So
sir.
give me
Thank you guys
just
so
a minute.
much.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. And be safe in the
So,
storm. Yeah.
You too.
all right, Dave, that was a good interview. If I was in Bainbridge, I know who I'd vote for. If I was in District
Yeah.
2.
Well, yeah, we're not voters there, but you've got an option here, and heard
I
some
really
good things. And so yeah, get out and vote. Get out and vote and let your voice be heard. If you're
absolutely.
not happy with what current government's doing, you got an opportunity to make a change right here. So
Yes.
thanks
So
for watching, and
that's Stephanie Harrity. She's running against Steve Brock and for County Commissioner District 2.
yes.
So I said I wasn't going to say that name again, but if you saw his name, I want you to know there's an option, a very good option. All right, Dave, have a great day.
You too. Be safe in the storm, my friend.
We will. Salute. God bless all y'all.